A recent report shows more of the younger generation are unemployed in South Korea, with the employment rate for people in their 30s at a record low. For more on the country's labor market, we're joined today by Professor Shim Myungkyu, an associate professor of economics at Yonsei University. Professor Shim, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So a report released recently suggests that while the number of employed young people has fallen, employment among older workers has actually risen. What's your assessment of the current state of South Korea's job market?
Yes, as you just pointed out, this is a phenomenon that is really important aspect of the Korea's labor market. Let me first point out that this does not seem to be a transitory problem if you look at the trend of the unemployment rate per se. The unemployment rate of workers whose ages are between 20 and 29 has been higher than 5% this year, while that of older workers whose age is between 50 and 59 has been below 2%. Given that the average unemployment rate has been stable at lower than 3%, while that of youth unemployment rate has been stable at around 6% for the last few years, this clearly shows that the labor market has become more systematically favorable for old workers than young workers. This, to me, this phenomenon does not seem to improve in a very near future because new technologies, including AI, is believed to substitute young workers more than old workers.
I see, and there's a growing debate over whether the country should raise the retirement age from 60 to 65. Some say it's needed given the aging population, while others warn that it could take away more jobs from the younger generations. Where do you stand on this issue?
While it is evident from the previous analysis in labor economics that raising the retirement age would harm young workers by cutting their jobs, but I cannot be against the policy to raise the retirement age for several reasons. First, poverty rate of old workers is really high in Korea, and supporting for them is now really necessary. According to the OECD, the ratio was about 40% in 2023, which marked the highest level among the OECD countries, and enabling them to work more might reduce such a problem. Second, a problem that the national pension system would exhaust might be somewhat relieved. Once the retirement age is raised, it will be easier for the government to raise the minimum age when the retirees can receive the retirement benefit, which would be helpful to sustain the current pension system.
See, and another major issue in the job market is working 4.5 days a week. Would this hurt productivity, or could it actually improve the quality of life for workers and sort of help them spend more time with their families?
In the sense that working hours is still very high in Korea compared to the other countries, the policy to expedite working 4.5 days seems to make sense. Compared to the OECD average, Korean workers still work more than 150 hours per year. And with the development of the new technologies like the AI, which seems to make workers to be more productive than before, working less seems to make sense. But I think the government also needs to be careful in conducting such a policy because it can polarize the labor market further between workers employed in large and in small to medium-sized firms. Compared to the large firms, small firms have long-standing issues that they cannot fill the vacancies due to the dual labor market structure between large and small firms. And the new policy should put additional pressures on small firms compared to the large firms because it might increase the production cost, which would make small firms even less attractive to attract the workers. So the government needs to impose more policies to ensure that such firms are not harmed by the policy.
Right, and there are also concerns over artificial intelligence replacing humans at work. What do you think should be done to prepare for the impact of AI and perhaps other emerging technologies on the job market?
Yes, recently I had an opportunity to meet some CEOs, and they raised the issue that they do not have any incentives to hire young workers. Simple tasks like searching for information, summarizing facts, and preparing, say, presentation slides that were used to undertaken by young workers are now easily replaced by AI technology. And also, if I meet researchers, they also say that the need for research assistants becomes lower as a task that are usually done by their young research assistants are easily done by AIs in a more efficient ways. So it seems to be more and more important to make the young workers to prepare to find and learn how to do complex tasks that are complement to new technologies so that they are not easily replaced by the new technologies. In this sense, the government might help the workers to receive necessary education to enable them to do more tasks that are not easily overtaken by the AI technology.
I see, definitely. All right, Professor Shim, thank you so much for your insight this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.